Hey guys, we are back with Powerhouse. We are about to go into wolfman2000's Lenna's Inception run. We will be doing sacrifice ending, so I hope you guys enjoy it. It'll be about an hour and 20 minutes, so he will become live pretty soon.
Are you both ready?
Hang on, folks, I'll keep grooving until everyone says it's good. Okay, are we good? I don't know anymore.
Yeah, you guys' audio's up now.
Okay. Then thank you again, everyone. Let's start this again. Greetings, everyone. I'm wolfman2000, also known as Danstad, and I am joined by a good friend and rival of mine.
Hello, I'm Old Scooty. I run this game too.
Scooty has been kicking butt at this lately. They currently have the world record on the sacrifice ending, though I have been told that there was a possible incentive for me to play perfect ending instead, so I have to defer to our host here, or our restreamer. I don't know which one it's going to be, but has that been met? Is there confirmation whether the incentive...
We did not reach the incentive goal, sadly.
We did not. Okay, then, Lenna's Inception, a 2D-inspired roguelike, is going to show you why the incentive should have been unlocked. We'll glance over the plot in bits and pieces, but otherwise, we are running probably a little short on time. So let's at least do this. Now, to my knowledge, there were no incentives for character name or seed name. Is that correct?
We do have a seed name, actually.
We do have a seed name. Alright, then what is that seed name?
The best of pesto.
I need a spelling on that.
I'm just gonna type it in the chat of the Powerhouse chat.
Alright. Thank you, I see it now. Okay, TR, was that you that donated that? If you did, thank you for looking after the kids. We are, after all, trying to raise money for Extra Life. And
Yeah.
Otherwise... yeah, let's not waste any time. I'm going to chat a little bit, but Scooty, feel free to take over for most of this. I'm gonna start the timer as soon as I hit start here. So in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so it looks like I have about 5 seconds of latency on my view. So, starting out, we're going to start out in a sort of schoolhouse, and there are 8 students, as you can see, seated in the chairs, and the order that those 8 students are seated is very important. I'll get into that in a moment, but here, this chicken is called Henrietta, and say hi to Henrietta while you can, because she's not going to be here much longer. She's going to leave us, sadly. So this is the Elder's Cave. That imposing figure is going to come back a bit later. The Elder is dead, unfortunately.
No!
So Wolfman gets a whistle. He's going to blow the whistle, and Henrietta leaves. So goodbye, Henrietta.
And
This is Lance.
yep, Lance is meant to be the hero of this journey, but
He's going to meet with a terrible fate.
we just gotta train him, that's all. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You know what? I just got 100. You know what? I'm doing this now. Alright, this is Healing Tunic. I can almost guarantee that, but Healing Tunic is better than nothing. No! Undead! I got tricked. Okay, so... there are colors and 3 different adjectives for different tunic and potion effects, and ooh, early jungle, yes!
That's very good because jungle dungeons tend to be significantly harder to sort of navigate than other dungeon themes, including later on there's going to be a way to sort of move out of bounds when inside dungeons, and you actually can't do that in forest dungeons.
Oh, and oh, we're gonna have to take the long way. Oh, sorry, Lance, I didn't train you well.
Yes, tragically land in battle.
Alright, I'm gonna make a conscious decision. Yeah, I have to remember, we're playing Sacrifice, so best to get this out of the way now. So, with Sacrifice ending, well, this is the traditional playthrough. So, what's at the end of a dungeon at a traditional playthrough? A boss. Say hi to Azraflail, everyone. Scooty, all you.
So Azraflail is the Knight of Death. She's got this huge flail that she swings around in a circle. What Wolfman is going to do is just sort of hold the sword out and sort of to cut the rope on the flail, and simultaneously with the positioning will at the time hit Azraflail when she becomes full. That was a very right there.
I will gladly take that.
Sorry.
Also, don't mind me just skipping a cutscene and going through story mode and, ooh, bonus tunic.
Another tunic.
Oh, come on! I have none of the good ones today.
That's pretty unfortunate luck. These are 2 tunics that have only extremely specific applications. So now Wolfman's going to the library. The librarian page is going to give him the locations of each of the next 3, well, each of the next 2 dungeons. And also, getting back to that point about the seating positions of the children in that schoolhouse.
I forgot about that. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, so each one of those children corresponds to one of the dungeon bosses, and the order that they're seated in will correspond to which dungeon they appear in. And the first dungeon boss and 8th dungeon boss are always the same. Aside from that, the other 6 are randomized with a couple of little caveats in there. But it's important because dungeons 2 and 3 have a 1-phase boss fight, and 4 onward have a 2-phase boss fight. And there are significant differences in how long that second phase is between bosses. Some of them, it's only 4 seconds, essentially, just watching a second death animation, and there are some where it's upwards of a minute.
And I was just hoping to avoid a puzzle room, but this dumbbell dungeon. Oh, come on! I get bad layouts. So while we're talking about, you know what, this dungeon is bad. Why don't you talk about, you know, why did I pick up that random piece of rock from earlier?
So the meteor. If you are playing the game casually, meteors are extremely useful because you can take them to the blacksmith and they will upgrade your weapons and your inventory capacity. Generally speaking, in a speedrun setting, you don't want to pick them up as much because there's not really that much of a benefit time-wise to picking them up. However, Wolfman, when running marathons, tends to pick up as many meteors as he can find. Would you like to elaborate on that?
Yep, it's been an unofficial tradition since I've started getting this game accepted into marathons, donating a few bucks per meteor found. I'll make sure to look up the actual amount before I finish the game. I don't know the exact amount because, unlike normally, I'm actually running 2 games today. This is the first, and so I'm gonna have to kind of figure out my budget balance, kind of ad hoc. Speaking of which, there's some more for the kitty.
Yep. So, on into Dungeon 3, and there are... The thing is, the sort of layout and makeup of each dungeon is randomized, of course, just like almost everything else in this game. However, for each, like, number dungeon, there are a certain number of general shapes that the game pulls from. So, for example, if you're going into level 2, you know it's either going to be R, or a dumbbell, or a layout we call sliding puzzle. Oh, it looks like Wolfman has arrived in the item room, and he's fighting against some exploding crabs.
Which are never good.
Oh no!
Alright, D2 Chems, I failed at one, are you happy? Shoutouts to D2 Chems. Another good friend and rival at this game.
Yeah. Kemps is probably the best seeded runner around right now. He's got world record in all the categories for that.
And wow, right below me.
So essentially, each dungeon will have one item that you get from it, and each the room that you get each item in has sort of a special combat sequence where you fight upgraded versions of enemies, as we saw in that last dungeon. The crabs were all exploding, and so if they're brown, they'll explode periodically. If they're green, they regenerate health. If they're red, their attacks are stronger. If they're pink, they hover. Or sometimes they're just huge. And if they're blue in the first dungeon, they simply have double health. If they're blue in Dungeon 8, that's sort of a special little surprise that I'm going to leave open so that all of you viewing this can witness it without any spoilers, because it's a lot of fun.
Key before item in 4! No!
Oh no! I've never seen that before in a D4. Like, I knew it was theoretically possible.
Oh, okay, so, fun fact, I participated in a... I did not mean to pick that up. But anyway, great. Now this whole thing is flabbergasted. Okay, so, I participated in another marathon for this game, different category. I think it was a CSU-DH Blitz. We had key before item in 5.
I heard about that one, yeah. So to sort of explain that, each dungeon 1 through 5 has one key, and usually you get the key, and the only thing you need the key for is to open the door to the boss room. Very rarely, it will, the key will actually be required to get to the item, and like I said, that is extremely rare. I have, you know, probably 100, 200 runs or something. I have never personally encountered that in a Dungeon 4.
This is what happens when you commentate with me, Scooty. Strange things happen.
It's that marathon luck.
All I know is This is a game that still surprises us, and because of the whole thing, well, basically, there's a normal order in which I typically, go through these splits. We're gonna kinda reveal one of these surprises early. So, you know what, while I'm heading to the item room, if there are any donations, now's probably a good time.
We have a single donation from TSR Crazy P for $10, and it was for naming your seed name.
TR, thank you for making history for us. Oh my goodness. So, this entire time, we had to go all the way around for fish
There are
leather
those-
shorts, and we're gonna
There are
use
those
them.
green regenerating enemies.
Yeah.
So before Wolfman had been leaving the dungeons immediately after getting the item, with the idea that later he would backtrack to each dungeon to fight the boss once he has more more mobility with different items that he's going to get later. However, this time the item room for this dungeon was right in front of the boss because of the key location. So it's actually faster for him to just fight the boss right now, and this boss is Sandolphin. Sandolphin is sort of infamous within the speedrunning community because the second phase lasts so long, and it's mostly just sort of dodging passively.
And then you get to this part, surprise!
Yeah, the second phase boss designs in this game are really quite something to behold.
Yeah, perhaps we should mention that this game does offer 8-bit and 32-bit audio and graphical styles, and sometimes the 8-bit styles can be a little bit out there.
Catseal is just... And we're gonna see Catseal both phases later in this run, and let me tell you, that's one of the greatest boss designs in the history of video gaming. So far, this has been a pretty clean Sandolphin fight. Just one more hit needed.
Alright, this dungeon has not been treating me right, so I'm going to take an intentional time-wasting measure because of something I noticed earlier. I don't care if it's inefficient. It's 5 rooms to check. I'm doing this.
Yes, so essentially, if you saw the map when Wolfman opened it before, there was sort of an extra column to the right that was completely empty, and that always indicates that there is going to be a secret room hidden in that column. So essentially, dungeons 4 through 8 have a secret room that is not a part of the standard layout, and there are 5 items that are distributed between them. And 4 of those items are very useless for speedrunning purposes. One of them is essentially just another item that lets you swim. And then there are 3 more types of bombs. But there is one, which is the old revolver, that's extremely important to speedrunning. You get 1 shot with it over the course of the entire game, but whatever you shoot at is instantly defeated. So if we have that, we use that, generally speaking, on the final boss, because that ends up saving 110 seconds.
Alright, I think that's 4 meteors now. I'm actually gonna have to keep up with all the different things between this game and the next game. Anyway, we've been chasing this cheeky chairman. Chairman dropped us off in level 4, and we're now dashing past, and then Chairman dashes past us, and then we get to meet this, why don't you talk about him?
So Delvin, he's just a really nice, friendly guy, and he's gonna give Wolfman all of the locations of the next, next 3 dungeons, or all of them from here on out. So he's just very helpful and a good friend.
I thought Paige was supposed to be best NPC. Something's off.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Paige is best, but Delvin is also just a nice guy.
Something's not... Traveling Merchant, what are you doing right by level 5? I'm not objecting, but...
Traveling Merchant wants to give you a free sample.
Well, is this a good free sample? Yes, it is.
Defense Tunic is very good, easily one of the 3 best tunics in the game. It reduces all damage you take from any sources by 50%.
Alright, this time I think we're in sub, but every time I've said that I've gotten Mini Invader.
So, also, to give a little update on what is happening in the story, because of chasing the chairman across the bridge, that's the chairman of the Bankers Guild, and he's trying to take over. And he's doing that, basically he foreclosed on the palace. So he's sending in his skeleton army to then try to take over. And there's an item room. Yeah, item room.
I'll take early item rooms right now, especially after that level 4.
Yeah, early item rooms are really, really great to have. These are exploding snails. There are 2 types of snail enemies in this game. There are these snails, which have usually about 4 sword hits worth of health. They are usually tan, and they leave a poisonous trail. Very rarely, they will, instead of leaving a poison trail, they will leave a different type of potion as their trail. So sometimes you get something really good, like hover snail or health snail. Sometimes you get hallucination snail or beer snail or something like that.
And it's alien again.
There's another type.
Go ahead.
Sorry. There's another type of snail you see later on that has more of a gray shell, and if it's in its shell and it takes damage, it explodes. And that's very dangerous because explosions without a defense tunic or blast resistance tunic will take away 2 hearts worth of damage.
For those wondering why I died so easily to the exploding crabs earlier, that is why.
Yeah. Also, can generally
ignore what
very
you're seeing
quickly
right
because
now.
they have that sort of... No, don't. It's completely intentional. The game is working as intended. It's another part of this game's plot and lore is that there's sort of a glitch spreading through the kingdom.
Everything is acting up these days. Ooh, rocket ship.
Yeah, so this is rocket ship. It's a the dungeon layout that looks sort of like a rocket ship, so we call it rocket ship because it looks like a rocket ship.
Yeah, space station was taken.
And in my opinion, it's the best or the better of the 2 level 6 layouts because everything is a bit more compact and it's pretty easy to navigate. There's also an element of like familiarity, like we all know rocket ship well, so that's nice. Oh, another item room. Fast. As you can see, these enemies are on fire. So if Wolfman makes contact with them, he's going to catch on fire too.
But I was able to snuff them out.
Well done. And now that's the Amulet of Strength, so now Lenna is swole and she can lift. So we're going to see Wolfman picking up these snail shells and just throwing them away like they are nothing. And also this opens up...
Yeah, this overworld has not been kind. Go ahead.
Yeah. This also opens up an interesting thing for combat. Now, Wolfman, since he has the Amulet of Strength, can pick up and throw snails. And if he throws one against a wall, it's instantly defeated. But also, for the purposes of doors opening and items dropping, snails count as being defeated the instant they are picked up. So if there is one snail left in the room, as you just saw right there, he can just pick the snail up, and the item falls immediately.
Also, fun fact, you don't actually have to damage the snail. That's just a common way to get him to stop so that you can't pick him up. I just wanted to show that.
Yeah. So basically, they keep going, usually I think until they hit an obstacle or they take damage. So sometimes if they're against like a long wall or something, you want to just poke them with something so that they go into their shell immediately.
That is definitely one way of doing it. But you can be aggressive if you want. Okay. Everything about this game it's like this game is give and take. It's randomized. It's a roguelite. I've learned to embrace it.
I took up all the luck for today. Sorry.
That's okay. I'll get to let loose on the next run.
Yeah. And also, so this layout is I call it moon. I don't know what anyone else calls it. I hope you call it moon because it looks like a moon.
It's moon or crescent to me. But they're the same thing, right?
Yeah, more or less. And the thing is, it's personally my least favorite Dungeon 7 layout to get because it's actually much harder to navigate because it's so much easier to sort of pass over things because there's sort of more exits from each room. Whereas with something like, the Space Invader ones, you're gonna know about, where stuff is. Or you're going to sort of see a higher density of rooms in the general area of wherever you are. I guess is the way to put it.
Yeah.
Whereas here... Sorry.
The other two dungeon layouts are a bit more linear. This one is definitely more open. But we're already here, so that helps.
Yeah.
And
So more exploding.
Yep, but this time, I have a hammer and defense tunic.
Yeah. So these enemies, we've seen a bit of them before, but they're crab knights. They're kind of like the crabs we saw earlier, except they have a little bit more health, and they can block attacks, too. Except they can't block attacks from the hammer or the axe, which is really useful.
I thought I could dodge not picking up that book, but apparently not. I try to be too fancy, apparently.
It's a good book.
I know. The books are used as part of the perfect ending, which, again, I know we skipped. Also, I meant to... whatever. It's not gonna matter. Anyway, picking up a meteor because, again, I have my thing. And, well, we have to find level 8. Which I believe is just around here. Yeah, we can head down.
This is going to be a little bit different from the other dungeons, too. So Wolfman is not going to level 8 immediately. First, he's looking for the top secret lab.
Well, it's because level 8, you see, is in that whole blue area, but our compass, effectively, is telling us to head all the way down and around. Come on, did you have to be this difficult today? There we go.
Yeah. So, Wolfman has arrived at top secret lab. Essentially, there's usually just one of you areas in the lab.
There we go.
As you see here with the lighter to sort of, and from there, usually there's, if you don't do that, there's this long sort of puzzle thing where you use all of your items. So Wolfman's just gonna skip that because skipping it's faster. This is a speedrun after all. So Maxwell has been rescued. He's getting hungry because he's been trapped down there for a while. So he's gonna go get some food, and he's going to sort of help us get into Dungeon 8.
Yep. Also, I need to... Let's see. I'm taking a quick... I should have the hammer equipped now. Alright. Because we have defense tunic and an extra heart container, I'm not taking the safety door out. We're just going for it. We just have one message to take care of. You know what that is.
Delvin's fired.
Thank you. Also, do not adjust your set. What you're about to see is intended. Oh my god. Oh boy. This start.
Oh, that's not ideal.
Actually, depending, it may be perfectly ideal.
So, it's another one of these where you get dropped into the middle somewhere, and generally speaking, in those, for dungeons 4 and 8, you want to sort of find the entrance as soon as possible so you have that warp point. But if you start out high enough, it might actually be a time save to go for the item first and then leave. Or in this case now, fight the boss. So it sort of depends on what Wolfman finds, you know, in terms of map, keys, maybe just the item straight up. Also, back on that... Sorry.
This wasn't the level I thought it was. Dang it.
So also, back on the point about Delvin being fired, he actually is not our friend. He was Professor Maxwell's assistant, and he turned against Maxwell and is now responsible for all of these glitches that we are seeing. So there's the boss room.
Well, at least we're finding them early.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm just double checking. Okay, not here. Why do I care much about these walls this time?
Yeah, so basically, see how the walls in this dungeon are sort of flashing? They're kind of glitching out. So there is going to be one tile of wall somewhere in this dungeon that's not doing that, and that is the secret room wall. So with all of the other dungeons, you either have to have a lot of knowledge of how the map works, or really good luck in sort of just falling onto it. In the dungeon, it's much easier to find sort of just straight up, you know, you see the spots it's not flashing, and it's what you're looking for.
So,
Do you guys have time for 2 donations?
now's actually a good time. We have a long one.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so we have our first donation by TRS Escape. God dang it, I'm sorry. TRS Crazy P for $15. He said, "Here's a few more bucks for meteors or something. Charity. Good luck with the rest of the run, Wolfman."
Thank you for
And
helping with that.
We have Shane Kills who donated $100 and said, "Ooh woo, I want some mouth play incentives and split 2 other incentives for tomorrow if possible." So thank you both for your 2 very kind donations.
Yeah, thank you.
That was early, and also... Alright, you know what? We're not gonna bother with the thing. I'm gonna do my other thing. Scooty, I leave this in your hands. It's time for me to groove.
And we begin the boss rush with Vampire Magician Hatasiah. A boss that actually, like, if you're playing this game casually and haven't seen this boss before, is very, very difficult because there are so many cycles and so many different attacks to learn and so many things to dodge. But if you're speedrunning it, there are actually ways of getting around almost everything very reliably. For example, that phase with the hat that's just dropping bats down, Wolfman stood directly under the hat with his sword held out to the left, and that just kills all the bats before they can get to him. And that sort of card ring trick thing where it spins all around, the cards will stay in the same, or they will end in the same position that they started. So you just find the spot where the heart was, and you just stand there. So Wolfman's moving on to the second sort of set of cycles. He's grooving because this is a really good time for that, and why wouldn't you do that?
Gotta have some fun somehow during this.
Yeah. So this is sort of, you know, most of the time bosses in this sort of thing take, you know, you have to hit them 3 times or whatever. This first phase of this fight actually only requires 2 hits, probably because it's just so long and there's so much happening. So,
I got the near perfect position.
Nice. So Wolfman just tried to land the last hit specifically when the boss was right next to the wall, and the reason for that is the boss actually pushes you away during her invincibility periods. So you need to stay kind of close, and if you're against the wall, then you can't get pushed any farther.
And now, with Hatasia down, time for you folks to learn why perfect ending should have been met. Dark truths.
So also that was a very clean fight. So also what we're going to see in terms of movement here is Wolfman is going to use those glasses he picked up in the last thing, and to sort of wrap around to the opposite side of a screen. And that's why you don't go all the way through all the dungeons initially. You leave and then you come back once he has the glasses because it's so much faster to move.
So that was a dark moment. And this is why, in all honesty, I am surprised this game got accepted into this marathon. So we're here to raise money for Save the Kids. Or raising money for Extra Life to save the kids, I should say. But, well, we're taking out the kids in this ending. I'm sorry, I didn't write the story!
Yeah, so to elaborate on that, turns out Lenna is the mother of all of the archangels, these bosses that you've seen throughout the game. And she once was one herself, but because of Delphin's meddling, she became sort of human or human-like, and her memories were erased. So she had no idea, but then she recovered her memories, and now she's having sort of, she's having a time trying to work everything out. So now moving on to Santa Quill. So there are two strategies for this one. You can either sort of watch his ring of snowflakes, or you can set up next to him and charge at him back and forth. And so basically, if you watch the snowflakes and sort of either count them or watch how the ring wobbles, that's actually faster than dashing, but it's a little bit harder because essentially the way its vulnerability works is, I believe, what is it? He becomes vulnerable once his shield has a certain number of snowflakes, depending on how many hits he's taken, or once he's tried to generate that many snowflakes in that round. I think
it's something like that. I don't know if the Lenna's Inception scientists, such as Kempson Plank, have identified it entirely. Also, it's the whale dungeon. Boss is almost always there. And now, speaking of Plank, I have expanded upon one of their strategies in using the glasses. Why am I doing this?
if you have the glasses active against certain bosses, it speeds up all of their animations. Like Tentaluchis here, he's just moving super fast. And
Still got the alignment.
Oh! So basically, if you are exactly centered when Tentaluchis does that charge attack, he only does that. If you mess it up, he bounces all the way around the room, and it takes a very long time. And that was an incredible save by Wolfman right there, because he sort of got a little bit off center. Also, the side note, oh yeah, it's Tentaluchis. Have you ever seen a cooler squid? No.
Kelly and Marie may have issues with that.
And so that's another boss down.
And because of all the routing shenanigans, you know what? I shouldn't need this, but I am going to purchase an additional healing potion. Actually, wait, that's not healing today. This is... Right. First is always healing. Why did I get those mixed up today? I don't know. Obviously, I am not fully me today when I'm playing or something. Let's just go to level 5.
Yeah, so one of the few non-randomized elements of this game that's actually really helpful is the first potion sold by Andres the Bear at Emporium is always a healing potion. And obviously, knowing where to acquire healing potions is a massive for going fast, because if you're going fast, you don't want to take that extra time to be safe.
At the same time, I already did pick up defense potion, but with that, we get to have more fun with animation skips and a strategy that I found. So I'm gonna
Catseal looks so cool.
Yep, I'm gonna demonstrate how you're normally supposed to do this first. Jump over the thing, but I'm gonna be fancy. Hold on, is something knocking at my door? Never mind. Yeah, hold your sword out and you can do that.
Yep, even if you get knocked down, your sword stays out and you can still passively tap Catseal like that. And so now Catseal transforms. And having glasses active, again, makes this go a lot faster. So now you just input the Konami code on these eyeballs. They're joysticks if you're playing in 32-bit. You just finish that, and then it's over.
Technically, once that final eyeball goes down, that's enough. But you know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, level 6. It's rocket ship. So let's hope, because I'm not going down the other side. Dang it.
That's unfortunate. So that the sides of rocket ship are always sort of empty, so it's always a spot that you sort of want to check for that secret room in case it's something like, you know, the gun. So here we got Hydranial. Yeah.
And now, time to take Hydranial apart, or rather, Hydranial will take part at us, or I don't know.
It's more or less the same, so Hydranial just yeets parts of himself, and you just throw them back. And so Wolfman's doing a little skip here, where ordinarily Hydranial would throw things at you for this phase too, and you'd have to throw them back. However, if you place a bomb down and then pick it back up, it counts as an item that has been picked up for the purposes of damaging Hydranial. So you can just do that to skip that entire second phase. And also the first hit, which takes a little bit longer.
Yep. Alright. We're gonna end up kicking butt the old-fashioned way at the end. I am fine with this. Now, for shoutouts to Wildfire, one of my mods in my channel. This is their favorite boss.
I love him. The cool crab.
Crabadon just wants to open their claws and their mouth.
Yep. What are your weak points?
My weak points, they're in my claws and in my mouth.
So in a fight, what do you do?
In a fight, I open my claws and my mouth. I eat tasty arrows for breakfast.
Oh no.
So
So the second phase is also kind of...
Oh, dang it, I miscounted.
It's very difficult because these claws now, they orbit him. So if you don't have a speed tunic, actually, if he is moving in the same direction as the claw that's orbiting is, it moves faster than you can move.
Yeah, and this... lately, with a number of perfect runs that I've typically had a speed tunic just out of luck, so I'm actually kind of out of practice for doing this the normal way.
Yeah, and it's much harder as you
turned!
see.
That crab turned!
He did that to me, I think, on Sacrifice World Record. He did that.
Oh my...
I was like, are you serious? But, so as you can see, this is a very, very difficult fight, and if you mess up one shot, you lose a huge amount of time.
Alright, for those that enjoy crab cakes, it's on the menu.
Crabman, man me a crab.
Alright. This seed has not gone well.
But that's all the bosses down.
Yep, and so it is time to dive in to the Glitch Palace. No more safeties, let's do this.
So the palace is one of the other place where, it's not randomized, the layout, so there is a that will goes very well. It's just going to get through this whole very quickly. This is also the location where it's actually required by the game to use these No, so that was the speed tunic. Usually you want to get early in the game, and it's so fast for like exploration and stuff. Now that the exploration is almost completely over, Wolfman has received a speed tunic.
It's gonna help with the final battles, but still, this game. This is karma from Wednesday.
Yeah.
Also, I did check my meteor count. I have 8. I'll figure out the number after my next run, how much money I'm gonna donate. Which, by the way, the next run is going to be Groove Coaster. We'll talk more about that later. For now, time to deal with the chairman.
Yeah, so the chairman of the Bankers Guild, Wolfman is going to breach his contract because apparently Lenna and the chairman have been working together. So if you like Legend of Zelda and you have Ganon, where he's large boar sort of thing, here you have Chairman Gammon, the capitalist pig.
You mean Mammon?
Yeah, and if you recognize the sort of Dead Man's Folly thing from Legend of Zelda, here you're going to have variation with money. We call it Coin Mehameha or Rich Man's Folly.
Funny enough, I think the devs intended it to be Cash Mehameha, but it's all variations of the same thing.
Yeah. So Wolfman here also, whenever the chairman turns red, he's going to jump at him and get punched. And the reason for that is, actually, if he gets punched, that skips another attack that the chairman would use. It takes, I think, about 15 to 20 seconds every time.
You know what? I'll show it. We have enough time.
Okay, yeah, we're way underestimate. So it's this.
Yeah, this is the hardest version where we have all the boars, and if you try to cheat it, well, the boars can come on the other sides, but apparently that was the last one because I can't keep up. So now the chairman is gone.
And that just leaves the final boss.
You. Delvin,
So
that greedy prick. I leave
It's
this in your
Delvin
hands,
again.
Scooty.
So Delvin is a boss with about 4 phases. Usually, if we have the gun to shoot him, Wolfman does not in this case. So he's gonna fight him. It's sort of a long, drawn-out thing. Delvin's gonna move around the arena. He's gonna shoot that ring of fire. So basically,
right.
Wolfman wants to jump over the fire and get as close as possible.
I forgot, hammer doesn't work on the tentacles.
Yeah. So generally, when he does that tentacle attack, you want to throw a bomb at him, and that just deletes all the tentacles, but he also stays in place trying to use the attack, so you can get a lot of free damage on him. Unfortunately, Wolfman didn't get that this time.
Here's
So
how you
now
do this.
Delvin does another fire
I
ring, and
missed.
then
Speed tunic. Blame the speed tunic.
yeah. So basically, there's this thing with the speed tunic where if you throw something or fire a projectile, it will add the speed tunic multiplier to the projectile that you launch, and sometimes it actually gets going so fast that the projectile will travel through whatever you throw it at. So here Delvin is going to become an orb, and then he's gonna leave, and so Wolfman's gonna leave too. And then we go on to the final phase of the fight. Wolfman's gonna get attacked by his UI here. And that deals fire damage. And he's gonna get...
We healed enough. We're good.
Yep. And then we're going to see an upgraded version of the tentacle attack. For me personally, it's a little harder to disrupt. But that doesn't matter because Wolfman just took care of it very, very efficiently. So, Wolfman, if you could call time, because I'm a little bit delayed.
I call it now.
Alright, nice.
That was a disgusting run. I apologize for that poor quality. Scooty, thank you for sticking with me and, watching over my weak spots there.
Thanks for having me. It was still, I mean, 4201 IGT is still really, really solid.
True. I'm just used to higher standards, I guess.
Yeah.
And with that, unfortunately, we were unable to save the kids on this run. But consider this motivation. If you have the Racial Injustice bundle from itch.io, you own this game. There is a secret with the Power of Compassion that allows you to get the perfect ending, so you can save the kids in the game, but of course keep on saving the kids in real life. Use !donate, do the good thing. I'm just writing down now, I collected 8 meteors because I'm going to do some arbitrary formula between this game and the next game and determine my final total. However, I need to set up for that, so Scooty, any final words? Scooty, I don't know if you heard me. Any final words?
Oh, sorry, my audio went out somehow. If anyone watching wants to get into running this game, there's a Discord with speedrunning channels. Community is very beginner friendly, very well organized. It's easy to find information about the game. So, yeah, there's that. I think that's all I have to say.
All right. With that again, thank you again, Scooty, for joining me on this very interesting journey. Seriously, key before item in 4.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know how well I can top that, but give me about 5 to 10 minutes for setup because I have to, turn on the switch. We are going to prepare for Groove Coaster YY Party active controls. So, give me a bit. I need to hydrate.